Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. Throughout our story of One Piece, Luffy has turned a kind of laughable devil fruit into something that is really quite amazing and powerful, especially on the combat front. But with Luffy's awakening, we now see that the young pirate is using techniques that only seem to be reserved for Paramecia and Zoan carriers. But it also might mean that Luffy could, since he's awakened, further use Logia techniques, a technique that might have already been shown during his fight against Kaido. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the possibility of Luffy using awakened Logia, Paramecia, and Zoan techniques, and we're going to talk about the moments in which he really demonstrates to have these incredible techniques. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like, and even subscribe, and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it keeps motivating us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, in the One Piece universe, devil fruits grant users special powers, and the awakening of these fruits allows users to amplify and master their powers even further. In the case of the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika that Luffy possesses, its recent awakening has brought him a series of surprising abilities, completely removing all limitations from Luffy's body and making him acquire new techniques. Through the awakening of his devil fruit, Luffy was able to break all the chains that limited his body, and this means that he now has full control over his rubber body, and he can use it in incredible ways. And his creativity is the only limit to the things that he can do. One of the abilities that Luffy demonstrated after awakening his fruit was his ability to turn his surroundings into rubber, and this technique allows him to reflect attacks and destructive powers back at his opponents using the environment around him. This ability is quite similar to the awakening techniques of other Paramecia fruits, which allow the user to manipulate the environment around them, and it gives them the ability to amplify their powers through objects or the environment. Now, we saw this special case with Doflamingo, who was able to turn everything around him into a string, or even Kid, who was able to turn anything he touched into a magnet that attracts or repels metals. Furthermore, Luffy also displayed the high stamina, strength, and speed of an awakened Zoan, another category of devil fruits, and this indicates that awakening of the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika allowed Luffy to access the awakening abilities of both a Paramecia that he thought he had and the Zoan fruit that he actually does. Now, what already makes the Nika fruit extremely unique is that it gives its holder incredible techniques where they have an immense advantage during combat against any opponent that is unaware of the full potential of this fruit. But as far as we've seen, the power of an awakening is usually quite specific to each type of devil fruit, giving totally different techniques and abilities to each type of awakened fruit. However, in Luffy's case, awakening the Hito Hito no Mi seems to be unique, as he seems to be able to combine awakening techniques from each of the different fruit categories. These new abilities granted by awakening of the Nika fruit further increase Luffy's power, making him a formidable force against any of his enemies, and his ability to adapt his rubber body in creative ways and use awakening techniques from different fruit categories makes him really an unpredictable and powerful opponent. Just consider that during his battle against Kaido, one of the four emperors, Luffy was swallowed by the mighty dragon, and surprisingly, he was able to escape Kaido's body through his eyes without causing any external injuries to Kaido, and this peculiar ability might suggest that Luffy has developed a Logia awakening technique that allows him to become intangible, like smoke or gas. However, he's using the rubber element in some way to accomplish this feat. Now, Logia-type devil fruits already allow the users to transform into and manipulate a specific substance or element, becoming intangible and allowing attacks to pass through them harmlessly. So if Luffy had developed an awakened Logia skill, it's likely that he got a technique capable of making his rubber much more malleable, allowing Luffy to modify even the consistency of his element, which would explain how he crossed Kaido's body without leaving any marks, and even stretching it from the inside out as if Kaido himself had turned into rubber. Another intriguing clue is that Luffy's ability to pierce Kaido's body with his techniques, causing internal damage, but without externally hurting him. And in certain frames of the fight, it's possible to see that the punch actually goes through Kaido's body, making the Yonko feel the internal pain. However, no external injuries or marks are left. Again, this ability might indicate an awakened Logia ability, where Luffy can transform specific parts of his body into an offensive substance, like rubber capable of piercing through the tough skin of his enemies only for the purpose of wounding them internally. Something very similar to advanced hockey, or what we learned about in, say, Wano as Ryo, being able to hurt them from the inside. Going back to Logia-type Devil Fruit users for just a moment, they have the ability to transform their body into a specific element, such as fire, ice, stone, smoke, magma, you name it, and then utilize that element in attacks. But if Luffy developed a Logia awakening technique, he might be able to shape his body in a much broader and more creative way. This could easily include how to turn his fists into sharp or spiked substances, which would allow him to strike his opponents internally without leaving external marks. Something very similar to what Katakuri did with his Mochi Mochi no Mi, molding it to create extremely powerful weapons capable of injuring his opponents. But again, the Hito Hito no Mi fruit is classified as a mythical Zoan, and Zoan users generally lack the ability to become intangible or manipulate substances like Logia-type devil fruits. The world of One Piece is full of exceptions and surprises the further we go into our story. Now, Luffy has already demonstrated unique and unusual abilities in regards to his own devil fruit, and this might suggest that he has a special Logia ability due to a specific awakening, some peculiarity of his fruit, or even because his fruit is an extremely rare mythical Zoan and is considered the fruit of freedom. This fruit of freedom or liberation might be the very thing that makes it possible for these common limitations that exist in other devil fruits to completely be broken down when he uses Gear 5th. And it gives Luffy the ability to do really whatever he wants with his body, as long as he makes sense of it while changing his body. I mean, let's not forget the fact that the fruit is considered dangerous, especially by the Gorosei, because it is limited only by the user's imagination. So, considering the evidence presented, the idea that Luffy possesses a Logia awakening technique, it just can't be ruled out. So as Luffy's adventure continues into this final saga, we're gonna see more new battles between him and other Yonko, and this is gonna allow him to grow and demonstrate even more of his skills. And if Luffy has indeed developed a Logia-type awakening technique, it could be a result of a unique interaction between not only the Hito Hito no Mi, but Luffy's personality and abilities. He has that innovative nature and that extraordinary creativity that has played a crucial role in developing this unique ability, because again, as I said earlier, this devil fruit could have been laughable in anybody else's hands, and it was only due to Luffy's really brilliance in turning this rubber fruit into the just devastating power that it has become. Also, as I said earlier, while it is rare, it's not unheard of in the One Piece world for some devil fruit users to acquire abilities beyond the traditional categories, and these special abilities are usually associated with exceptional users or very specific circumstances. Luffy, as captain of the Straw Hat Pirates and the main character in the series, certainly falls into the exceptional user category, but his creativity could be a big point that also contributes to the development of even more powerful and unique abilities. So this idea that Luffy possesses a Logia-style awakening technique is fascinating, and it opens up exciting possibilities for the future of his development, because going out of Kaido's body and causing internal damage without external injury suggests abilities beyond those expected even of a special devil fruit, some of which we've already seen. Luffy also continues to defy expectations and push boundaries, showing that his creativity and determination really knows no bounds. So if he truly developed a Logia awakening technique, it would add an even greater dimension to his skill set and also make him an even more formidable force in his future battles against more powerful enemies. I mean, just consider the fact that Gear 5th can't be all that's there, and there's been a widely speculated idea out in the One Piece community that Gear 5th is simply the hybrid transformation from Luffy into the Sun God Nika form, and that we haven't actually seen his full Zoan form yet. Now, while these ideas are still speculative and require a lot more concrete evidence to confirm, it does highlight the unique and unpredictable nature of devil fruits and character abilities in One Piece. And as Luffy continually pushes himself beyond his limits, displaying creativity and determination that transcend conventional devil fruit categories, Luffy's continued elevation as a powerful combatant and leader of the Straw Hat Pirates is one of the most exciting aspects of this final One Piece saga. And again, we know that there are many worse things waiting for Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats as they not only head towards Laugh Tale, but eventually seek to turn the world on its head. We still have Madame Shaki's prediction that Luffy will destroy Fishman Island, and there have been a lot of different ideas out there in the community that it could be about destroying the Red Line, which of course is right where Mary Joie is. Right below that is of course Fishman Island. So as these epic adventures continue to unfold, it's going to be really important to keep an open mind to every possibility because of all the different twists and turns that Oda loves to take us through. But regardless of whether or not Luffy possesses a Logia awakening technique, or any others for that matter, one thing is absolutely for sure. Luffy is going to continue to amaze and inspire us through unwavering determination, boundless creativity, and unrivaled courage as he takes us on to the end of the One Piece story. So with all that said, my friends, we'd I'd now love to know what you think about it. What do you think is gonna be the next kind of awakening or ability that we're gonna see out of Luffy? I mean, we have to know that this can't be all there is. I mean, he can't just go to Gear 5th and yay, story over. He's gotta have other ways to further expand his tool set and be responsive, especially with some of the things we've seen recently and not even knowing what the true powers of the Gorosei are. So where do you think this is gonna take us, and what new and different abilities could Luffy end up showing us? Next, what do you think about the idea that Gear 5th is simply Luffy's hybrid form in his Zoan fruit, and there is still more to see if he goes into full Nika form? Now, if we use Sengoku's fruit, where he turns into a full Buddha when he transforms, would there be something similar for Luffy, where we've seen a little taste of who Nika is, but we haven't seen the full Nika? What do you think that would be like, and what might be the cost should Luffy actually use that form? Let us know what you think in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video for the day, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Be sure you comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, hit that bell and hit that subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.